shadow of the stars. The Odyssey drifted like a lost fish in a vast, dark ocean, its metal frame barely a speck against the infinity of space. Captain Serin stood still on the observation deck, her hands clenched behind her back, eyes fixed on the void. It had been months of chasing an impossible signal that defied all known laws of science, a signal that whispered secrets too dangerous to be left undiscovered. Now they were finally here. "Captain," Lieutenant Kaysen's voice crackled over the comms, "we're nearing the planet's atmosphere. Gravitational readings are all wrong. They don't match any model we've got." Serin didn't move, but her brow furrowed deeper. "Take us closer, but be careful. Make sure the crew is strapped in. This isn't going to be a smooth descent." Below them, the planet swelled, far larger than they'd anticipated. It was smothered by a thick layer of darkness, not the kind that comes with nightfall. No, this was different, something alive. The darkness pulsed as if it had its own heartbeat. The closer they got, the more oppressive it became. Kaysen's voice sharpened with panic. "Gravitational pull's spiking. Stabilizers at max. I can't hold it." The Odyssey groaned as it shook, like space itself was trying to tear the ship apart. Metal shrieked, lights flickered, and alarms blared. "Keep her steady," Serin barked, her hands gripping the console as the ship jolted violently. The floor tilted beneath her, and she caught glimpses of fear etched across the faces of her crew. They'd faced danger before, but this was something different. It felt like they were staring into the maw of something that wanted to swallow them whole. The planet's surface loomed closer. Metallic plains stretched out endlessly, shimmering under the dim, eerie glow of a sky that wasn't quite dark but not light either. It was like the very atmosphere twisted reality, bending light, distorting shadows. And hanging above it, casting an impossible shadow, was the creature. It was too vast to comprehend. No human mind could process its true size, for it spanned not just the sky, but dimensions. Its form constantly shifted, a swirling mass of matter and energy, both there and not. Tendrils of dark energy extended from its core, stretching to the stars, pulling them into its massive body. Kaysen's voice trembled. "Captain, what are we looking at?" Serin's throat felt dry. She forced herself to speak. Something that shouldn't exist. The creature shifted, and the stars began to blink out. Slowly, steadily, the light of the universe was being swallowed. Serin turned to Kaysen, her voice low but urgent. "We need to send a warning to the Alliance, now. But first, we have to find a way off this planet." The control room fell into an uneasy silence, save for the faint hum of failing systems. Dr. Ellen stood hunched over her console, her brow furrowed as she studied the readings. "The gravitational field here, it's like nothing we've ever seen. It's not random. It's being controlled." Serin felt a chill crawl up her spine. "By the creature?" Ellen hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, it's manipulating space-time itself, pulling everything toward it." Serin clenched her fists. "How do we stop something like that?" Ellen's eyes widened in fear. "I don't think we can. This thing, it's not just a mindless force. It's more like a sentient black hole." "Captain," Kaysen called from his station, his voice shaking, "we're losing contact with the outer systems. Its reach is spreading. It's already consuming nearby star systems." Serin's thoughts raced. Running wasn't an option. If they left now, the entire galaxy would be devoured. But how could they fight something so massive, so incomprehensible? "We need a plan," she said, turning to Ellen. "Is there anything on this planet that might help us? Anything at all?" Ellen's fingers flew across the console. "There's a structure about 30 kilometers west. It's emitting strange energy signals, unlike anything I've ever seen." Serin's eyes narrowed. "We're going to check it out. Get your gear." The planet's surface was a living nightmare. Gravity shifted unpredictably with each step, dragging them in different directions. The crew moved slowly, battling the fluctuating forces as the air pressed down on them. Above, the creature loomed, blocking out the sky. As they approached the structure, Serin's heart pounded. It was enormous, nothing like any technology they'd encountered. The ground around it hummed with a strange energy, almost like static electricity in the air. "What is this place?" Kaysen whispered, his voice hushed. Ellen crouched by a series of alien glyphs carved into the metallic surface. "It looks like some kind of control center. Maybe a weapon." Serin stepped closer. "Or a prison." The ground trembled suddenly. The creature had noticed them. Its shadow deepened, and a low, thunderous noise rolled through the air, like the death groan of a collapsing star. "We're running out of time," Serin shouted. "Ellen, can you access it?" I don't know." Ellen's hands shook as she worked frantically. "This isn't like anything we've ever seen before." "You don't have a choice." The structure's pulse quickened, the hum growing louder. The sky seemed to warp above them as the creature drew nearer, blotting out the last of the stars. The universe felt like it was closing in on itself. Ellen's fingers danced across the controls. "I've activated something, but I don't know what." The creature roared, a sound that rattled their bones, and the ground beneath them split. The air thickened, crushing them as the creature's tendrils wrapped around the structure. Ellen's face turned pale. "It's feeding on the energy. We're making it stronger." Serin's heart sank. They'd fallen into a trap. The creature had lured them here, knowing they'd trigger the structure. It had wanted them to. The ground crumbled beneath them, and Serin watched in horror as her crew was swallowed by the darkness. She felt the pull of the creature's gravity, dragging her down into the abyss. As the last lights of the universe were extinguished, Serin closed her eyes. The end had come, and there was no escaping it.